have hogs across the creek, but it is still daylight.
Car Jesus when hunting up in North Texas, and
I have hogs across the creek, but it is still daylight right now.
So I slowly moseyed over to the other side of the property. Got a nice sounder of hogs. Now they're kind of hard to see right now because they are in an uncut hayfield. So we're only seeing the backs of the hogs for the most part. And this is something new. I've got a little inset camera that I've mounted on my Lone Star Armory TX15 multi-purpose carbine, through which I'll be shooting factory Hornady 6.5 Grindle SST ammunition. As you can see, the hogs are pretty spread out right now, and I'm going to have a lot of trouble distinguishing between boars and sows. And not only is the hay high, but I'm also dealing with the fact that the wind is blowing towards the hogs, but fortunately they're preoccupied with eating, and so they're not paying any attention to me. They say you can't beat a hog's nose, but you can if the hog beats itself and isn't actually sniffing the air to find out if there are any threats around. So they haven't taken notice of me, but I'm not going to try getting any closer. I've decided that I'm probably going to shoot this hog right here. Here we go. And I should have stayed on that one hog because I knew where it was, but once I got off that hog and I dropped the second hog, I now no longer know where the first hog is. And once I get off the second hog, I've now lost it in the field as well. I did about a half hour of searching, didn't find either hog, searched for 2 hours the next day, and found this one sow. And that was it.
Hog. Hog.
Well, these hogs are in the field where I parked my truck, and I made my stalk on the hogs. The first hog has disappeared off into the woods off to the right, which I'm scanning for it right now to make sure it's not coming in behind me. And the farther hog is the one that was by the fence, and that's the one that I'm lining up on right now. I know this hog is pretty close to the fence. I'm not sure how close it is, but I know that if I shoot it, it's probably going to take off and run and cross through. It's going to be on the other side of the fence, and I don't get to hunt over there. So I need to make this shot count. Now I'm lining up on the vegetation line because it's about mid-body on the hog, and I don't want to shoot below the vegetation. Alright, here we go. Down it goes.
Down.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
This boar came in at 160 pounds, and I did not see its partner again. So I moved on to other properties, and I spied these hogs from the front gate. Initially, I had seen 3 hogs, but right now I'm only finding 2 hogs. And they're partially hidden by the trees that are there in the foreground. So I've got a larger hog that you can see right here, then a smaller hog off to the left. There's the smaller hog, but it's over by some petroleum tanks. So I'm going to concentrate on the larger hog, which turns out to be a tripod sow. Alright, here we go. She goes right down, and of course the other hog is going to run, and it gets behind the vegetation, and so I don't have a shot. The sow was good size, coming in at 145 pounds. She had farrowed, but she was not currently pregnant. Moving on to the next property. Got a small sounder of hogs. I'm thinking this is going to be the sow for this group of younger hogs. And in actuality, I could not have been more wrong. And with the new camera, you can see me nuke the image right here. The reason why we nuke the image on thermal scopes is because the thermal sensor builds up some noise over time with use, and so this recalibrates the sensor and provides a better picture. So I'm going to go ahead and line up on the hog that I think is a sow and take her. And then let her piglets run because I don't know if there are any livestock in the woods behind them. Well, my sow turned out to be a 145-pound boar, and at this point I was tired and just loaded it in the cart and the carrier and moved on to my next property, where I've got a sounder of hogs. This is a cut hay field, which is really nice. I can see everything. This is the field that the rancher calls field number 2. I'd originally called it field number 1, but he numbers the fields a little bit differently than I had, so this is correctly field number 2. And here I've moved up on the hogs. At this point the wind is in my favor, which is great, and I'm going to move off further to the left and be shooting directly into the wind when I get lined up. And here I've moved into position. I'm getting set up on my shooting sticks. One last nuke before I get started. And that appears to be the largest sow in the group. So I'm going to want to target her first. Then I'll try picking up whatever runners. Alright, here we go. She goes down. And I connect with the runner, but it heads off over to the fence line where I can't shoot. And I have to let it go. Now I want you to notice the audio difference here. I'm going to do the same shot sequence with the DVR recorder for the thermal. The sow was on the small side, coming in at just 80 pounds, but she had farrowed previously. So tell me if y'all like the new video, and if you like the new audio, comment below. Carpe sus, my friends.